Warriors, Leafpool Wish by Erin Hunter. Chapter 2. The moss beneath Leafpool's paws crunched with frost as she slipped into Firestar's den. 1 moon had passed since her dream of the 3 little stars, and Leafpool was giving way to the coldest season. Leafpool fluffed up her fur and reminded herself to tell Whitepaw to bring fresh moss up to the high ledge. Firestar had to be kept warm and dry while he recovered from losing a life. Leafpool shuddered as she recalled the blood-drenched events of the previous day, when she had found her father with a 2-leg trap around his neck and Brambleclaw standing over the body of Hawkfrost, dead, in the lake. It had been many moons since StarClan had sent her the strange, unknowable warning. Before there is peace, blood will spill blood, and the lake will run red. The day had come when Hawkfrost tried to kill the leader of ThunderClan by luring him into a trap set for foxes. Brambleclaw had saved Firestar's life by digging up the wooden stake that held the trap and then fighting Hawkfrost to the death, his own half-brother, another son of Tigerstar. Brambleclaw was the blood that spilled blood. Leafpool's vision of a circle of thorns protecting ThunderClan and Firestar's decision to make Brambleclaw deputy in place of Greystripe seemed to carry the weight of StarClan now. "Is that you, Leafpool?" Firestar croaked in the shadows. "Hush, don't talk," Leafpool ordered. She bent over her father's nest and sniffed. There was no sign of infection, thanks StarClan, and the wound left by the trap around Firestar's neck was shallow and would quickly heal. His throat would be sore for some time, but Leafpool had brought her last stock of honey to soothe it, along with a poppy seed to help him rest. "Eat this," she meowed, unfolding the leaf wrap she had brought to reveal the sticky pool of honey topped with a tiny black seed. "I'm fine," Firestar protested. He propped himself up, his ginger pelt gray in the half-light. "Don't fuss." "I'll fuss as much as I have to," Leafpool retorted. "You lost a life yesterday. Don't forget." Her father's green eyes gleamed. "I won't forget. Don't worry. But I have a clan to lead. Our clan mates need to see that I am okay. And there are patrols to organize." "Brambleclaw has already sent out the hunting patrols," Leafpool told him. "I have told everyone that you're fine, just for resting. Now, lie down, or I'll send Mousefur to tell you stories until you fall asleep." Firestar gave a faint purr as he curled up among the feathers that lined his nest. "The poppy seed can do that for me, thanks." "All right, Leafpool. I'll do what you say." He blinked fondly at her. "I need to remember that you're not just my daughter, you're my medicine cat too." "Yes," thought Leafpool, as she picked her way down the rocky slope after watching Firestar lap up the honey and poppy seed. "I am ThunderClan's medicine cat. Nothing else matters but my duty to my clanmates." She started running through a list of late-season herbs she wanted to find before the frost nipped the delicate leaves, and wondered if there was any honey left in the old bee's nest near the top of the ridge. A flash of white fur coming out of the apprentice's den caught her eye. "Whitepaw," Leafpool called, stepping down the solid earthen floor of the clearing. "Please, could you fetch some more moss for Firestar's nest? Make sure it's completely dry." "Sure," the apprentice nodded. "I can do that before training." She whisked around and pushed her way through the thorns that protected the entrance to the hollow. "Are you stealing my apprentice?" came a warm voice behind Leafpool. She turned to see Brackenfur watching her. "Only for a moment," she promised. "Firestar's bedding is a little frosty this morning." The golden tab narrowed his eyes. "How is he?" "Fine," mewed Leafpool, "but losing a life is a bigger deal than Firestar makes out. So I've told him to stay in his nest today." Brackenfur nodded. "Quite right. Brambleclaw can manage the patrols." Leafpool studied the warrior. "Do you think Firestar made the right decision to declare Greystripe dead and appoint Brambleclaw in his place?" The warrior flicked his tail. "A clan without a deputy is an odd thing. I always felt that it made us vulnerable." He bent down and touched his muzzle to the top of Leafpool's head. But there's some absences that leave us even more unprotected. I'm glad you came back, Leafpool. Without a medicine cat, I don't think ThunderClan would survive. Leafpool was saved from having to reply by a flurry of paw steps from the nursery. Brackenfur, squeaked Berry Kit. Watch this fighting move that Thornclaw taught me. He skidded to a hole in front of the warrior. I don't need to wait another moon before I become an apprentice, he chirped. I can defend my clan now. He squatted on his haunches and glared at an ant scudding across the ground, then sprang into the air with his front legs outstretched. He landed in a heap of creamy fur while the ant darted unscathed beneath a stone. You're almost ready, little one, Brackenfur meowed, picking up Berry Kit by the scruff of his neck and setting him on his paws again. Keep practicing. Daisy appeared at the entrance to the nursery, her cream fur ruffled. Berry Kit, stop bothering Brackenfur. Come here so I can finish washing you. Berry Kit's litter mates, Hazel Kit, Mouse Kit popped their head out beside their mother. Yes, Berry Kit, mewed Hazel Kit. You're so naughty. Firestar's going to feed you to the badgers. Daisy looked horrified. Firestar would never do such a thing. Go back inside, you two. It's far too cold out here. She ushered her kits back into the nursery. Daisy seems a bit overwhelmed, Leafpool commented with a amused purr. Brackenfur sent Berry Kit on his way with a gentle nudge. The nursery is pretty crowded with Soratel's kits as well. I don't remember having this many kits at the start of Leaf Fair before. Leafpool nodded. At least Daisy's kits will be able to help with hunting soon. Brackenfur tipped his head on one side. Help or hinder, he purred. Then he straightened up. But if StarClan has given us the gift of so many kits, our ancestors must know that we are able to take care of them. That is our duty after all. He strode away, calling to Ashford that they would take their apprentices out as soon as Whitepaw returned. There was a rustle of branches at the entrance of the nursery, and 4 tiny bundles hopped out. Can't catch me, scolded Mole Kit, trudging across the clearing on his stumpy legs. But I can, puffed his sister Honey Kit as she raced after him. Poppy Kit and Cinder Kit followed more slowly, placing each ball delicately on the frosty grass. Ooh, it's cold, mewed Poppy Kit, fluffing up her tortoiseshell fur. Cinder Kit looked around, and Leafpool felt the little cat's pale blue gaze rest on her. Look, it's Leafpool, Cinder Kit chirped. She trotted over to the medicine cat, her short gray tail straight up in the air. How's Firestar? She mewed. We heard there was a terrible accident. Yes, an accident, Leafpool echoed. Wise Soratel was keeping the true horror of the events from her babies. He's doing well, she purred. He'll stay in his nest for one day, then he'll be up and about again. Good, mewed Cinder Kit. A clan needs its leader. Leafpool stared at the tiny kit. What was it about her that seemed so different from other kids? Sometimes she sounded so much older than a moon, and Leafpool had watched her gaze at her clanmates as if she was looking from far, far away, with the knowledge of a cat in StarClan. Also, there was something familiar about her scent, more than the milky comfort of the nursery and Soratel's warm smell. Leafpool was about to bend down and sniff Cinderkit's pelt again when Soratel squeezed out of the nursery, her belly still loose and swollen from the birth. Kits, she called, don't bother the warriors. We're not, squeaked Honey Kit. Me and Mole Kit are practicing our running. Yeah, and I'm still faster than you, her brother insisted. He stretched out one front paw. Look, my legs are longer. But mine are quicker, yelled Honey Kit, hurtling away in a blur of light brown fur. Soratel winced as her daughter almost knocked Whitepaw off her feet. The apprentice was half hidden behind a bundle of moss that she had dragged through the entrance. Oh, Honey Kit, watch where you're going, Soratel chided. She turned to Leafpool and rolled her eyes. I don't know how StarClan thought I could cope with 4 of them, but her voice was warm and full of love. Leafpool caught her breath as her belly tightened around a powerful squirming sensation. It was not the first time she had felt it, but it still made her flinch. She had figured out what the vision of 3 tiny stars meant half a moon ago. Blue Star, Yellowfang, Lionheart. They had all known in the shadowed path that Leafpool was about to tread, and now it was as if the kids inside Leafpool were challenging her to stop lying to herself, to admit their existence, and start preparing for the future. My kids. Not just Leafpool's kids, Crowfeather's too, and they would arrive within the next moon. Oh, what am I gonna do? Are you alright? Sorrel was peering at her. Do you feel ill? Leafpool turned away. She didn't want Sorrel to look at her too closely. If any cat knew what an expecting she-cat looked like, it was this experienced queen. I'm fine, she panted. Just a little bellyache. Must have been the tough old shrew I ate yesterday. She glanced around and saw Brambleclaw's tail whisking into the warrior's den. His hunting patrol has returned. I must go check Brambleclaw's wounds. Leafpool meowed, hurrying away. She felt Sorrel's gaze boring into her, but she didn't turn around. Brambleclaw was lying in his nest, licking his pads. His claws were battered from digging up the fox trap, and he was covered in scratches dealt by hawk frost. But he had insisted on going out on patrol as usual. He looked tired, though, and Leafpool could tell by the way he held himself that he was in pain. He brought this upon himself. I saw him in the dark forest with Firestar and Hawk Frost. They must have plotted together to catch Firestar in the trap. Leafpool couldn't explain why Brambleclaw had decided to free Firestar and kill Hawk Frost. She assumed something had gone wrong with the plan. But I saw the circle of thorns surrounding the hollow, keeping us safe. Why can't I trust Brambleclaw now? Let me see your paws, she mewed, bending over him. With a grunt, Brambleclaw shifted and raised each foot in turn. Some of his claws were dangerously loose, and Leafpool suspected one would fall out next time he pounced on something. But there was no smell of infection. They'd heal more quickly if he rested, she commented. Brambleclaw shrugged. I'll send Whitepaw over with some marigold juice. Leafpool went on. Rub it into each pad and also the wound in your pelt. If you have trouble sleeping, I can give you a poppy seed. I don't need that, Brambleclaw meowed. Leafpool turned away, eager to leave the cramped, musty space and her troubled feeling about the injured warrior. She felt Brambleclaw's amber gaze burning into her pelt. You can trust me now, Leafpool, he mewed. Leafpool looked back at him. It's not my role to judge you. I know. You saw me in the dark forest with Firestar and Hawk Frost. Leafpool flinched. I can't pretend it didn't happen, she whispered. Brambleclaw shook his head. No, and I'm not going to deny it, but I promise that it won't happen again. Yesterday changed everything. Hawk Frost is dead. Dead because of me. And I know where my loyalty lies now. I'm the deputy of the ThunderClan, and my clan is the only thing that matters. Suddenly the kids writhed, pushing against Leafpool's flanks so hard that she staggered. Brambleclaw sat up. Leafpool, what's wrong? Nothing, Leafpool hissed through gritted teeth. I swallowed some mouse bile by mistake when I was treating mouse furs, ticks, that's all. You look like you need some fresh air, Brambleclaw meowed. Go on, I'm fine here. Send Whitepaw with marigold juice when you're feeling better, and get the apprentices to deal with the ticks. Leafpool stumbled out of the den, gulping the cold, clean air as if it were water. Berrykit, Hazelkit, and Mousekit were lined up in the center of the clearing, taking turns pouncing on a stick. Got you, ShadowClan warrior, Mousekit spat, baring his tiny white teeth. Berrykit braced his front paws in the middle of the twig and pushed down until it snapped. Death to the enemy, he squealed. Hazelkit was distracted by their father, Spiderleg, walking past. This is the real enemy, she chirped, making a grab for the black warrior's tail. Spiderleg dropped the piece of fresh tail he was carrying his foot on. What are you doing? He snapped, flicking his tail out of the way. Hazelkit's shoulders dropped. Only playing, she mewed. Daisy looked out of the nursery. Don't disturb your father, she called. Spiderleg grunted and picked up his prey again. Leafpool saw Daisy narrow her eyes at the long-limbed black Tom walked away. Crowfeather would always be willing to play with our kids. The thought flew into Leafpool's mind before she could stop it. She pictured the dark gray warrior surrounded by three tiny shapes, letting them pounce on his tail and nibble his whiskers. In her mind, the background was blurry, and she couldn't tell whether he was framed by cliffs or the open moor where WindClan made their home. But what did it matter where they lived, as long as their kids were happy?